Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you from once again in North Carolina, where it is hiker midnight here. So if you're a through hiker on the trail or a section hiker on the trail, you may not be getting this until in the morning, because it's hiker midnight and you may be already in the sack. However, if you're not, you're just hanging out around, then no reason not to listen and hang out with me and everybody else that's watching. So let's go ahead and get on with the update for this week for the 2019 Appalachian Trail Thru Hikers. If you're new to the channel, then this is a channel where lots of folks come to keep up with the thru hikers and what's going on, and where we come to be a part of the hiker community and build the hiker community, and that's what we're all about here. So we hope you'll join us with that. It's also just a little bit about my adventures on the Appalachian Trail, and you'll find some of that scattered out throughout the different videos that I've got online there. Also, we've got the registrations updates coming here, so let's go ahead and get to that. The final count, according to the ATC, of folks that stepped off from Springer and registered was 3,300. And according to them, the Nobos that have made it to Harper's Ferry and stopped in to get their picture taken, that was 1,530 of those folks. So that's a little less than half there that made it to Harper's Ferry that checked in. Of course, we know not everybody registers, and not everybody actually checks in at Harper's Ferry, because you do have to go a little bit out of your way to get there. It's only a couple tenths of a mile, but lots of folks do that, but occasionally somebody may not. Flip-floppers that register were 348 this year, so we're probably done with, of course, with the Nobo registrations, and also with the flip-floppers, and more than likely with the Sobo. And there was 313 folks that registered for Sobo, and of those 313, as of August 26th, and I know I get that is old information, but that's the latest the ATC has for me that's online. Of that Sobo, 17 of them have actually checked in at Harper's Ferry on their way to Springer. So we wish all those folks well, whether you're a Nobo or Sobo. And if you are here and the first time to this channel, then the best way you can do and help me build the hiker community is go and support not only the Nobos that are finishing, but also the Sobos. And you can do that by going to Ramdino Roaming the Trails, which is my Facebook page, and there you'll find a link to everybody that's out there that we have their social media links for. And then you can go to sign up to their channels and bookmark their channels, and you can go make comments and help push them all the way to Katahdin or all the way to Springer or whichever direction they're going. And you'll get our weekly updates, and you'll get notification of that if you'll hit that subscribe button and hit that bell down there, and you'll know that when we've got an update coming, which is pretty much every week. So let's keep on going on with the updates here. Folks that have summited Katahdin, right now we are looking somewhere in the low to mid 500s. Other than through hikers that update me, or folks out there that let me know, or just scouring the IG pages, Instagram pages, or YouTube, there's no way for me to get that. Baxter State Park, they won't even answer the phone half the time, and they don't return my calls or emails, so they're not going to tell me how many folks have summited. So I only get it from you guys and what I can find online. So it'd help me out a lot if you would let me know whenever you see somebody summit, and get their summit number and give me that notice, because we want to make a note of everybody that accomplished that, and just enjoy it with them, and give them an attaboy and congratulations, and just to let them know that we've supported them and we've enjoyed watching their hike. So give me that information whenever you get it. Right now we are up in, as I said, in the low to mid 500s. Champ, he has summited, and he is now flipping to Massachusetts, and he's going to continue on Sobo to finish out his through hike. Rattail, he summited last week, or this week actually, and he was number 518. So Rattail, we appreciate that. And he summited, of course, he went with his dog Zaffer Wiles throughout the trip. And of course, Baxter doesn't allow dogs there in the park, and they don't allow them to certainly to summit Katahdin, so he had to leave Zaffer Wiles back down there. But Rattail, congratulations on that. I met Rattail and interviewed him. I'll leave a link to that up here. And he, along with Booster from Booster Hikes channel, met them in a North Carolina shelter and interviewed them, and it was a really great interview. Enjoyed that a lot, and so it'd be kind of cool to go back and look at that, and when they were just fresh on the trail, and of course they'd only crossed over one border, and just see where they were then and where they are now. So I encourage you to follow that link and go back and look at that. So as I said, Booster from Booster Hikes, he also summited this week. If you've got some other folks summited, those are all that we're aware of that we are following currently. If you've got some other folks out there, whether we're following them or not, we encourage you to send those to me through my Facebook page on the instant messenger app there at Ramdino Roaming the Trails, or through my Instagram account at just simply Ramdino. And send us those folks, whether we're tracking them or not. We don't want to leave anybody out. Want to include everybody that has reached such a monumentous time in their life. Weather report for the trail up in Gorham, New Hampshire. The temps during the day are going to be in the high 60s to the low 70s this coming week. And Monday and the rest of the week looks like it's going to be at night, going to be kind of in the 40s to maybe the 50s. They got a possibility of rain on Wednesday and Saturday, and it's still going to be a little muggy this week. And Monson, Maine, they're going to have likewise rain on Wednesday and Saturday, a little higher chance for them. And their days are going to be, the high is going to be in the mid-60s to the low 70s. And at night, it's going to be down in the mid-40s and the mid-50s. And it's going to be still a little muggy. Now, just remember that this is for those towns that I've mentioned there. That is not at altitude. So you may actually see some frost conditions at altitude in the Whites and the Wildcats and some other places and some high altitudes there. So just keep that in mind. If you're out there on the trail, protect your Sawyer squeezes, keep them from freezing, and that's the main thing that you might have a problem with it freezing. Even it getting down just into frost level temperatures, it can still mess up your your Sawyer squeeze. Believe me, that's the voice of experience. That happened to me before. Where the estimated hiker bubble is, it is somewhere just a little past the half point of Maine. So coming into Monson and coming on into the 100-mile wilderness, so it is moving right along, and it's going to be there north of Monson in no time. Hikers on the trail who we have updates for this week. Anchor, he got vortexed in the Shaw's Hiker Hostel there in Monson, Maine, and he has basically finished the trail. He did some slack packing around the 100-mile wilderness, and he's actually taking advantage of some other trails in the area, but he is going to wait and summit Katahdin on the 16th, which is his birthday. So other than that, he's basically finished and helping out around Shaw's and possibly doing a little work for Stay, but he is going to be finishing looking to summit on the 16th of September. X, she is almost done with the Whites, and she should be coming in the Wildcats any day now. She has suffered through some hornets, as a lot of folks I've noticed have gotten stung by yellow jackets and hornets on the trail, and she has also had a little knee injury there, but she is sucking it up and driving on in true X fashion, and she is continuing the mission. And right now she says there's not any frost out there that she's run into yet, but it is getting chilly at night. So kudos to you for keeping on going there, X, and not having to take a zero. She said she's not taking a zero. She has got to get going. Runa, she is in the Whites, and she says she's around a bubble of about 30 plus or minus nobos, and they're staying in the huts. And I was not aware of this, but I had asked her if she had problems getting space in the huts, since the huts are, they have their own tourists that come up there and pay to go there. And then you have your through hikers, but she indicated that they had to take people in because of the weather. So I don't know if I wasn't aware that they had to. Maybe they just had to but for moral reasons, but possibly there's a rule out there. So if somebody out there knows what the rules are for the huts and taking in through hikers, and if they have to or not, then leave a comment in the comment section. I'd like to hear about that. I'd like to learn more about that. MN Hikings, they are in Maine, and they're somewhere around mile 1,972. So it's just a few more weeks left for them as well. Valkyrie, she is summited, of course, and she plans to get her flip-flop started back from Harper's Ferry, and she'll be traveling Sobo in the next few days. And Quicksand, he has made it to Massachusetts. Chuck Norris has a love-hate relationship with the Whites. So he's loving the views, loving being there, but as always, the whites can really kick you in the backside. And Chuck gives us some really good updates. So he said he did Mount Washington 2 days ago, and he had perfect weather, and he had over 100-mile visibility. So that's pretty awesome. He said Moosilauke was amazing and tough, and Franconia Ridge kicked his rear end. So he only got 9 miles in that day. So I'm sure a lot of you thru hikers out there can sympathize with that. But so far, he says the Kinsman was his favorite day because he had such incredible views, beautiful cliffs, and amazing hidden valleys. So he just really loved that. Did say the climbing was pretty technical and a little scary, and I've heard that from more than one folk out there. So he's going to be in the Wildcats in the next couple days, and he can't wait to get to Maine, and he's looking at summiting Big Mama K in the next couple weeks. So appreciate that update there, Chuck Norris. And anybody else wants to send me their updates, don't worry about the length. We'd love to have as much information as you can so other folks can glean that as they're doing their thru hike. Trigger is in Rangeley and possibly just north of there now. Hawk was in Gorham on his subo portion of his yo-yo this past Saturday, and he plans to be done with his yo-yo by Thanksgiving. So more power to you, Hawk. Lolly and Pop, they plan to summit Katahdin tomorrow, which will be the 9th. And then they're going to flip back and pick up the miles that they missed. And also summiting on tomorrow, the 9th, is Amy and John. So they are all excited about that. I heard a rumor that Amy may be trying to push John into doing a yo-yo. Don't know about that. If anybody's heard anything about that, send me a comment down there. Amy, love to hear from you about that yo-yo that you're thinking about doing. But in any case, they are excited about summiting Katahdin. If I missed your update, I apologize for that. Please send that to me over on my Facebook page at Ramdino Roaming the Trails. So I am there, and I'd love to update you for this next week's upcoming. And if you summit, we'd love to have your summit picture along with your summit number. Or if you have some friends that are out there, folks you're following that may not necessarily be on social media, send us their picture as well. We'd love to include everybody in this monumentous event that they're having in their life. Bear reports. Well, the bear reports pretty much remain stable, the same bear reports that we've been having. Of course, in the Smokies, all the campsites there in the Smokies, all the shelter sites have bear reports out and bear cautions out about them. The only one that's still closed is Cosby Shelter, which is closed and apparently going to be closed indefinitely until the bears go into hibernation. We still have the same alerts for Grayson Highlands and the Mount Rogers area. All those shelters have cautions out them about bears, particularly at Thomas Knob Shelter, which is mile 499, and these are all Nobo miles, by the way, and Hurricane Shelter, which is mile 515. So unoccupied tents and packs have been damaged by bears looking for food there in Grayson Highlands and Mount Rogers area. So be careful up there. If you plan to camp overnight between Elk Garden, which is Virginia mile 600, and Dickey Gap, which is Virginia 650, you've got some bear cautions out there. Be sure you're using the bear boxes. There are some available there, as well as at Fox Creek Campground on Virginia 603. Black Rock Hunt Shelter and the Shanties, they have a temporary camping closure there due to bear activity. Vermont, they've got several bear cautions out due to the instance there at Goddard Shelter, which is mile 1623, Kidgore Shelter, which is 1627, and Story Springs Shelter, which is 1631, and Stratton Pond Shelter, which is 1642. So all of those have bear cautions out, and the Goddard Shelter at 1623 is actually temporarily closed. We also have a bear report that we had out from last week that doesn't appear anywhere else other than from Trail Angels that have told me that there's problems with a bear up at Delaware Water Gap, which is Nobo mile 1290, and they are having some issues with a bear that's not backing down and not even bluff charging. He's just coming all the way in. So be careful up there around Delaware Water Gap as well. If you have any type of bear incidents or you have any kind of run-ins other than just a sighting, the ATC does have a bear reporting system. I'll leave that down here in the description section how you can report that, or you can go to the ATC website and you can find that there as well. I'll be hitting the trail either this coming weekend or next weekend, depending on what the weather and the matrix does to me, and we'll just have to see. But I am going to be getting out there, and I will be making a video of that. So I'm excited to get back out on the trail. I'm itching to get out there. That's my happy place, and I wanted to get out there bad today, but just did not get a chance to do a day hike. But this will be a long weekend. I'll be finishing the rest of the Smokies doing the northbound section. So hope you'll come along with me. If you would like to physically come along with me, not just virtually, then send me a message and I'll be glad to get together with you, and we'll see what we can do about making those arrangements. Don't forget, down below in the description section, our helping hikers section, where we've got links to those hikers that are helping other hikers and through their either online store presence or just things that they do for other hikers. We want to make sure that we participate with them as much as we possibly can. And then also, we're kind of course, we don't have a lot of Sobo hikers that we're tracking. We'd like to get more. If you know of any or you're tracking any, particularly those that might have social media accounts, let me know, and we'll be glad to add them to the list and include them so everybody can go and give them support. Well, folks, that's all I got this week. I appreciate you staying to the end. And as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.